Hey, it's Miss Alana here, and I'm here to help you with today's math assignment. So the first thing you need to do is what? Make sure you have your math assignment. Now, if you don't because you lost it, check the comments or the info below. I'm going to try to link it right there. So even if you're not in my class, you can try to print that too so you can get smart just like my kids in my class. All right, are you ready? So you need that and you need a pencil. You don't even need scrap. I think there's enough room here for you to work it on the paper. All right, so first thing you do, write your name. Write your name, first name and last name. Make sure you write today's date is October the 24th. Is it that? Yep, October the 24th, 2016. And it's Monday. And guess what? Today we are celebrating something special this week at school. And what is that? Red Ribbon Week. Look, this week is Red Ribbon Week. And what is Red Ribbon Week? That means say no to drugs. Bam. Say no to drugs. No to you drugs. And say no to alcohol. No to you, alcohol, and always make good choices. Not only about drugs, not only about alcohol, but always make good choices for your life. And you can start right now by getting your math work done. So if you need help, I'm here to help you. And you ready to begin? Let's get started. So today we're going to be working on adding and subtracting decimals. Let's always read directions first, okay? So let me read that to you. It says subtract the following decimals, then check your work by adding. Remember, the opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So you can use those two to check your work out. Make sure you write the problem vertically. That means up and down. So these problems, I set them up horizontally. You can't subtract like that. Make sure you write them up and down. The next part of the directions, it says, don't forget to change the whole numbers into decimals by adding a decimal point where the decimal goes at the end of the number. Not in the front of the number, not in the middle of the number, but at the end of the number. Then you add what after that? You add zeros. So you add zeros depending on what? Depending on the other number that has the decimal, okay? You ready to get started? All right, so you have enough room here to write it in the spots, but I'm going to switch screens so I can write a little bit bigger to make sure everyone out there can see. All right, so the first problem says 10 minus 8 and 1600. Make sure you always say the numbers correctly. We don't say point. Don't say point. It's not point. It's and, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to write it up here. 10 minus 8 and 1600. So the first thing we need to do is write it vertically, okay? So I start with that 10. And then what do we do? Add a decimal point where? At the end of the number, okay? Bam, right there. And how many zeros do we put? So we look right here, look, 2 digits behind the decimal. So I put 2 zeros behind this decimal. 0, 0. And we write this underneath that, but remember, decimals do what? They line up, bam. They line up just like kids line up and like people line up. Decimals line up too. So we put the 8 right here. Bam, you see the decimals straight line up and down. 16. All right, are we ready to start subtracting? Yes. All right, 0 take away 6. You can't do that there. 0 has nothing. 0 has nothing. It's broke. It has no money. So what does it have to do? It needs to borrow from a friend. But look, that friend is broke too. That 0 has nothing too. 0, nothing. So that 1, we could borrow from that 1. So this 1 becomes a what? That 1 becomes a 0. Now that 1 is broke too. No money. And this 0 becomes a 10. But now since this 0 has to borrow, this 10 becomes a what? It becomes a 9. So that becomes a 9. And this 0 becomes a 10. Then that has to borrow from that. So then this 10 becomes a 9. And this 0 becomes a 10. Now stop right there. Some of you all like to change that to a 9 and just go crazy and make everything 9. But nothing else borrows from that, so it stays a 10. All right, let's subtract. 10 take away 6. All right, if you're not quick, you have 10 fingers, you can use that. 10 take away 6, how many is that? 4. And then we do 9 take away 1, what is that? That is 8. And the decimal does what? It goes just straight down. Then bam, bring it down. Bam, bam, right there. And then 9 take away 8 is 1. And then 0 take away nothing is 0. So you can leave it just like that, 1 and 84 hundredths, or you can put that 0. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's the same correct answer. Yes. Okay, nope, we're not done. There was something we had to do next. What was that? Check our work. How do we check our work? You can check it with a calculator, but that's not what we're doing here. We're going to check it with our own mind. So we are going to do the opposite of subtracting, which is adding. All right, so the way we do that is you're going to write this number and the answer that you got, and we're going to add those two together, okay? So let me switch back. Let me see. We have 8 and 1600. Now we are going to add plus 1 and 84 hundredths. So remember, practice saying these numbers correctly, okay? 6 plus 4, what's that? That's 10. Write the 0, carry the 1. Then I have 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 8 is 10. Or I could do 1 and 8 right here is 9, plus 1 more is 10. So it doesn't matter which numbers you add first, you'll still get the same correct answer if you add it correctly. So we got a 10, write the 0, carry the 1, and this decimal does what? Bam, goes straight down, bam, right there. And then 1 and 8 is 9, and then 1 more makes it 10. Oh, guess what? Look. You see that 10 right there? Bam, and you see that 10 right there? That is how you know that you got your answer right. Yes, big old check for me, big old check for you. That's how you can check. See, you didn't even need a calculator. You just used your mind to work it out. So, go ahead and work out the rest of the problems on your own. If you need help, I'll make another video for the rest of the problems. So go ahead and try that. Use your mind. You got this. Go ahead and work those out. See you later.